Hello, Tech Bites Foundation, and everyone else watching. I'm Adi, and I've made my first STEM challenge video today. Um, so for this, I've made a Tic Tac Toe game using Python. So if you don't know what Python is, it's basically an open source coding language that's known for being very good for beginners and basically anyone who's looking to code. There are many tools to do this, but today I've used a tool called Replit. You probably heard of Replit as one of the best sites for coding. It has over 50 languages that you can code with ease. There are no setup processes. All you have to do is press a few buttons and you're off. You can code to your desire. Today I've done just that. But first I'd like to acknowledge TechBytes Foundation for this amazing opportunity of STEM. They've created a STEM challenge, which is a great opportunity for young people to express their learning, especially in times like this. So today I'm going to explain my game and demonstrate. Alright, so I'm going to first start off by playing the game, and I'm going to demonstrate it so you'll understand. The first thing you do is press this button here. You press run, and the first thing that happens is you see these two boards here. The first one, which is on the left, is empty. That's supposed to happen. It's the board that you will be placing stuff on. Like I said, this is a tic-tac-toe game, as you probably know, like I said. And if you played tic-tac-toe in real life, you'd know that it's used on a 3x3 board. You probably just don't know it digitally. So here, to navigate you while you're playing, we have this board here on the right that gives you the positions of all those different squares. So if you want to place it right in the center, all you have to do is press 5 and it goes to that current position. So I also have to mention that there's a little prompt here that the computer is giving the user. It says X is turn. Choose a position from 1 to 9, and we've chosen 5. After choosing 5, it goes to that current position. Next, it becomes O's turn. And it says choose a position from 1 to 9, just like the last time. Now it's O's turn to play. So it places 6. Then O places 9, and so on and so on. Let's just say O has placed 3, and it was too distracted and it didn't notice that O was going to place 1 and win because it got 3 in a row in the diagonal format. So it's obviously X's win, and the computer realizes that and says that X has won. That's true. So good job, computer, and also X. So basically, that's how you play the game. And now there are some situations where this will not happen. Let's say there's a tie. If there's a tie, then it means that all the squares are occupied on the board and that no one has gotten 3 in a row and that it is a tie. So basically in that situation, what happens is it'll say it is a tie, no one wins. So that's how you play the game, and yeah, now I'm going to explain the code, which at first glance might look like a bit too much, but if you pay attention to this, you'll understand it with ease. So basically what we have here in the first 2 lines is hashtag will hold our game board data. So let's say it's just O's turn, and he's just finished. Now it's X's turn, and he plays. On the next move, it'll be O's turn again. So basically, this function allows the board to remember what the past 2 moves were, and it doesn't forget them and misplace by accident. This creates the board. So basically, not the right-hand side board, but the left-hand side board. That's why you see the dashes here. The square brackets are a requirement in Python for writing code, like this. And the quotation marks, which you don't appear to be seeing on the screen on the right, that's because these dashes between the commas here are strings. So strings need to have those quotation marks. This lets us know if the game is over yet. So this doesn't actually print the statement someone has won. It just sees if someone has won and it indicates another part of the code, and that part is what says on the screen that someone has won. Next, this tells us who the winner is. Another after piece of this area here. This tells us who the current player is. So X goes first. You can change that and just say O goes first. That's all you have to do. And it says current player is X. This is all not very interesting. And this is quite interesting actually, and I'd like to explain it. So basically this creates the right-hand side board. This is done by print statements. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like I said before, we have to check if the game is over. So that thing that I said before, those lines 8 and 9 and 11 and 12 don't say on the screen that someone has won, which is actually the most important part. It doesn't say that. It just indicates to this part, this big chunk here, which actually makes up most of the code. It tells this part, and that is what writes. So this checks to see if someone has won, and that can be done in 3 ways. It checks the rows for a win. It checks the columns for a win, and it checks the diagonals for a win. So those are the 3 ways that wins can occur. There can also be a tie, which is why the computer also checks for ties. So it also flips the turn. So after X's turn, it's now O's turn. It's not X's turn again. So that's all my code for my Tic Tac Toe game using Python and Replit. Thank you. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. You can actually create this game for yourself too, you can look at the code in the description below, where we've posted the code. And I've also wrote a blog on how my code works, so you can visit that too. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.